Okay, here we go.
All right.
Set, George.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, everybody, you want to make a hockey pool? You need some expert help. How about a guy who knows what it's like to play in the playoffs, Mr. Kelly Rudy? Kelly.
Do you know I've never been in a hockey pool, though?
I don't believe you.
Yes. Actually, one time. I lied.
How'd you do?
I was forced to through the CBC.
Uh-huh.
And it was one of, I'm not kidding. It was one of my early years with Hockey Night, and they used to have a Hockey Night hockey pool. I don't know if they still do, but anyways, they wanted all of us broadcasters to be in it. So I had actually forgotten to fill out my pool. So after the first round of playoffs, they reminded me. So I had one round in the bank, right? So I went through it all, and I looked like a genius after in the second, third, and fourth round. I don't think I won, but you know, I don't know how hockey pools even work, really.
When you played, were any players in pools during the playoffs?
Not that I know of. No. I think they're too busy gambling and
Yeah.
other things. But yeah.
So you don't have a system then for pools if you're not in one. But if you
Yeah.
take a look at this playoff run coming up, who are some of the gems? Who might be the friends
Like
for this year? Like as
Oh,
players.
Franzen? You know who I really like? And obviously we'll have to pick teams that I think have the ability to go a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I really love that Ryan Kessler. I know you can always pick the highlight guys, right? Like PJ always does when we talk about teams. Oh, give me Malkin, give me Crosby, or
Yeah.
give me, like he only picks the usual
superstars.
suspects. Yeah, the superstars. But if you're looking for a sleeper guy, I really think a guy like Ryan Kessler could be a star. Well, I think he's a star anyways, but points-wise, I think he could really help you in the net. I really like Steve Mason. I think that he's just been spectacular, and they play such a shutdown style in Columbus anyways. I don't know how far they're going to go, but boy, he's just been lights out.
Well, if he gets that many shutouts during the regular season, when the playoffs tighten up and goals are harder to come by,
Yeah.
he could shut out a bunch of games.
Totally. He really could. And he has that mentality, right? He's just such a keen guy in terms of focus and everything. So he'd be a really dangerous guy to have.
Even though I can't stand the Bruins, and
You really?
really,
Is it because you're Montreal?
yeah,
fan?
I really can't. But Cam Neely was a 50-goal
Montreal's
scorer.
going to do really well.
Oh, they're done. They're done. You know? Do I need to? I don't need to go back to '93, do I, Rudy? Do I need to go back to '93?
Ouch, that hurts.
But Milan Lucic.
What? I've got to go?
What about a guy like Milan Lucic? He's a monster. I know he doesn't score as many goals as a guy like Neely did, but for some extra points,
he may.
Yeah.
Down the road, he's a great player. He's a big physical force. And you know what I really like about his game lately is that his coach really challenged him not long ago. Julian told him that he has to be a better player, and not only did he tell him, but he put him on the fourth line for a while to really grab his attention. And I think for young players like that, because sometimes even though you're struggling a little bit, but you're still being rewarded with first line ice time or second line ice time, that you don't recognize that your game has fallen that far. So if you put on the fourth line, pretty clear message.
Do playoff beers make players better?
I don't know, George. I was the kind of guy I can never grow facial hair, so you know, I was one of those guys that have just a little bit like this. So maybe that's why I never won a cup.
You got pretty close to it, didn't you?
A couple times.
If people are looking to make pool picks, and I mean, you know lots of these players, is there a way to tell if a player's injured? I know that they won't say what they're injured. Sometimes they'll call it an upper body or lower body, and the players will play differently. But are there telltale signs, things you can look for and go, I don't think that player is playing his best?
That's really a difficult one because even if, well, most guys are pretty banged up, but for instance, if you have a bum shoulder, bum elbow, you'll have freezing or something, you'll have some sort of painkiller to get you through it. If you ever have the ability to be around the players, maybe watch them walk into the rink might be the only way. You know, that's a pretty good sign.
Pretend to get autographs and just watch them. How's your knee?
Yeah,
How's
when a
your
guy
knee?
walks in on crutches, and this does happen, crutches and a cast on his ankle, but he plays in the game, it's a pretty good indicator he's not all that well.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
If you ever, so you don't have a playoff pool this year?
I do not.
CBC is going to make you, aren't they?
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. Good to see you.
Thanks, see you, George.
Kelly Rudy, everybody.